All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for taking your time to join today's session. But before we dive in deep, I'd like to tell you more about the company, introduce myself to you, and also, excuse me, sorry, I've got cold, so just pardon me. And also, I've got a few slides to share. After that, I'll call on the facilitator that will take you on the journey if you are to be joining us. And finally, we open the line for question and answer. So that'll be the order of the day. Without further ado, let's get started. So my name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. Learn with Pride is an IT training organization that focuses in helping people that wants to transition from non-IT background or non-technical background into the IT space. So we run different IT trainings ranging from project management, Scrum Master, product owner, product management, DevOps engineer, software testing, just to name a few. Why we are different or what makes us different is because we focus on what is important. We don't beat around the bush, right? That is why we equip you with the right skills and knowledge, practical training. Right. And not only that, you also be involved on the live project where you can get your hands dirty further as well by working with a Scrum team. So yeah, so that is what we focus on. And the aim and objective of doing so is at the end of the program, you should be able to compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2, 3 years. That's the level, that's the standard that we want to equip you. So that's about that. Learn with Pride has been going strong for over 4 years now. And over that 4 years, over 20,000 students has enrolled, has passed through this academy, so to say. We are based in the UK, but we have students all around the world. And that's a good thing about tech as well. There's no restriction when it comes to location. You can be in Nigeria and work remotely with a company in the UK, in Canada, in Australia. Right. So that is it about the company. About myself, I transitioned as well. My background was in accounting. I transitioned to become a software automation engineer. So that's going from a non-IT background, non-technical background into a very technical background. And that was done in 3 months. I am back on the journey back then. It was a 3 month masterclass as well, but there wasn't any support whatsoever. So 90% you have to do it on your own. But I asked a question when I was going through my own transitioning journey, or before I started my own transitioning journey, because it was something I have no clue about. It was totally different. It was like a Greek, compared to what, I studied in school. And I asked the question, can someone with no technical knowledge or background embark on this journey? Not only embark, at the end of the program, uh, he is able to get a job out of it as well. And the guy replied, if you are determined enough, nothing, absolutely nothing is impossible. With that mindset, I started on the journey. And to cut the whole long story short, 2 weeks after I finished the 3 month program, I secured my very first role as a software automation engineer. This was someone who just completed a 3 month masterclass. You know, that's just a short version of it. The long version is on YouTube for those who are interested in knowing my own personal journey or my personal story as well. So that is that about me. But why we are here today, because you have interest um, in becoming a Scrum Master or product owner, or you have the mindset that, you know what, I'm tired of what I'm doing at the moment. I want to transition, or I don't know what to transition into. And that is why you're on this session tonight. Right. So why so much rush to tech now? It's like tech is the new order of the day, is the new oil and gas. is a new oil, so to say. Now, it's because I believe in tech, if you get a role in tech, you can get that family work balance that you've never had for the last 10, 15 years. You know, some of us, the kids don't even get to see you until weekend. You know, why? Because before they wake up in the morning, you are gone to work. Before you come back at work, before you come back in the evening, they're already sleeping. Nothing like family time, nothing like what did you do in school today, until weekend before you get to see your kids. You might be making the money, but at the end of the day, if you don't have time for the people that are most precious to you, then what is the need? You know? So that is one of the reasons why people are transitioning to tech, because they believe they can get that when they transition. You know, people in tech, I can confidently say that they are working smart, you know, and this is one of the ways they are working smart compared to someone who is a doctor or a nurse. There's no way you can work remotely. You have to physically go in and do your 12-hour shift or your 13-hour shift, you know, compared to an IT person, right? You have the opportunity to work remotely or even hybrid. While working remotely, you can afford to take your kids to school. You can afford to take your car to the mechanic to get it fixed. Not that you are not working, don't get me wrong. You are working, but you are working on the go. Maybe your calendar for that month is just meetings. Who says you can't do your meetings on the mobile on the go? You know, you are the mechanic, you are still working. You're taking your kids to school, you are still working. But other professions might not give room for such. And also, um, when you are skilled up, you don't have to restrict yourself to just your country when looking for a job. You know, you can reside in Nigeria and look for remote jobs in Malta, in Ireland, in Switzerland. You might reside in Ghana and look for remote jobs in UK, in Canada. So you are not restricted. It is only tech that, you know, the Scrum Master in Nigeria performs the same duty as the Scrum Master in America. A product owner in Ghana performs the same thing as a product owner in the UK, you know? So you don't have to go because you want to apply for a Scrum Master in the UK. You need to go through another process of knowing how Scrum Mastering work in the UK. No, the same thing applies all around the world, all over the world. Now imagine after you are skilled up, now imagine how many countries that you can start throwing your CVs to. So that means whatever that is happening in your own local country, whether people are complaining there's no work, you know, there's suffering and all of that, you will be out of that equation. Why? Because you've now gained a new skill you can capitalize on and use it to look for a new job. Also, the pay as well. The pay is fantastic. And the good thing about working in tech as well, every year you have a salary review. So meaning what you start with last year is not the same rate that you'll be on this year. There's a progression, there's a career progression as well, and so on and so forth. And if you're talking about the right time to transition, I believe now is the right time to transition. Why? Because everything changes since after COVID. There are loads of jobs out there from foreign countries as well. And those foreign countries, they are looking to cut costs as well. Take, for example, a company in the US want to, you know, they have a budget. They don't want to recruit someone in the US because it's going to cost them maybe $500 a day to get a Scrum Master in the US. Where do they look to? They know they can equally get a professional elsewhere in Asia, in Africa, and they reach out to someone in Africa. Instead of offering $500, maybe they are offering $150. They are saving $350 dollar cost, And you at the other end as well, if you convert $150, in local currency, now that I'm sure that is over 200,000 naira you are getting per day. So over 200,000, or let's just say 200,000 naira times 20 days. That is a lot of money you are getting a month. So it's a win-win for both parties at the end of the day. And bear in mind, by the time you know your onions, who says you cannot take up 2 roles? I know some people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and they don't go beyond 5 o'clock most of the time. Why? Because they know their onions and they are working smart at the same time. That can be you as well. But before you can get to that level, you need to unlearn and relearn new things. You need to be ready to, go extra mile. You need to be ready for the journey. You need to be ready to go above and beyond whatever has been covered in class. During the live project, you cannot afford to take the back seat, because every experience on this journey goes a long way. Right. So don't let me talk too much. Let me go to my slide and we can continue the conversation from my slide. All right. So I'm going to be using UK as our reference point because that is where we are, despite the fact that we serve everyone all around the world. If you're looking for a permanent role as a Scrum Master in the UK, the average salary is around 50,000, 55,000, 60,000. And bear in mind, the average pay in the UK, that 60% get as their takeaway or take home in the UK ranges between £18,000 and £35,000. And you, after completing a 3.5-month course or 4-month program, you are able to compete for 40,000 row, 50,000 row, £60,000 row. It is no brainer. But again, you need to invest to be able to get to that level. If you're looking for a contract role is, I don't want permanent. I don't want to be committed to any company. I just want to do short jobs and go, like 3-month contract, 6-month contract, 1-year contract, and that is the end. You are looking around £400 a day, £500 a day, £600 a day. Imagine you are getting £400 a day. That is like £8,000 a month. £8,000 a month and 6 months. That is still a lot of money that majority don't get, even in 2 years in the UK. Again, I'm only using UK as a reference point. The pay is almost the same elsewhere as well. Right. So let's ride on. Another reason why you should consider transitioning as well is you can work remotely from anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you live. There's no country restriction. There's nothing like a Scrum Master in Nigeria is different from a Scrum Master in the UK. Nothing like that. As soon as you are skilled up, you can compete with people who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2-3 years. That is a guarantee. But again, when enrolling with us, it's like a 50-50% partnership kind of a deal. What do I mean by that? We as a training company, we can only go 50 yards. And our 50 yards is providing you with the right platform, equipping you with the right skills and knowledge, mentoring you, supporting you. All these things will be provided. And the other 50% has to be done by you. And that is you going above and beyond what has been covered in class. That is you sacrificing at least minimum of 2 hours every single day for the duration of the program. That is you going above and beyond what has been covered in class. If you can achieve your own 50% plus our own 50%, that means we can attain 100%. If you can both get 100, then the sky is, is the starting point. You can effect that. What that means is you can effectively compete with anyone out there as a Scrum Master, right? But you need to do your bit. We need to do our bit. You need to do your bit. But when it comes to support, when it comes to mentoring, when it comes to you getting everything you needed on the journey, you can be rest assured that that will be given unto you. But it can never be one-sided. It takes two to tango, they say. Right. So, and it's in high demand as well, it's in high demand. And that's the reason why we have some people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs, right? And don't forget that you are getting 2 trainings, even for the price of one. What that means is if you get a role, the first role as a Scrum Master, what stops you from looking for another role? Maybe as a product owner. What stops you? Nothing. That is the reason why we are equipping you with all these skills, with all this knowledge, so that you are not restricting yourself to just one. If one is not working, the other one will work, and vice versa. Ego, you can log out and log back in. I did a sound check, and I believe most people can hear me. Right. All right. So that is that. Let's move on. If you are to join us, what is the structure in place? What is the roadmap? Let's go through that quickly. So the program is for 3 months, right? The first 4 weeks concentrate on the practical training, which runs twice a week for 4 weeks. During these 4 weeks, you'll be exposed to everything that you need to know as a Scrum Master. You'll be exposed to industry standard tools, and so on and so forth. When you are done after the first 4 weeks, then the other 2 months will be used working on a live project, on a real life project, meaning you'll be working as part of a full Scrum team, where your team will consist of the developer, the Scrum Master, the product owner, the business analyst, the tester, and all of you guys are working together to deliver a solution for a client. This is very important because if you can get your hands really, really dirty, bear in mind that you have a support on the project as well. But the idea is for you to be able to get your hands dirty so that when you start applying for a job and going for interview and they ask you any question, you can back it up with a real scenario. But you can only have a real scenario if if you were involved during the live project, if you got your hands dirty during the live project. You can only defend what you know, meaning your input is going to equals to your output at the end of the day. There is no film trick. There's no magic. When you are stuck, the process is set, is designed in such a way that if you get your hands dirty, you are stuck, you've tried all you could, you don't know what to do. You have people that you can go to that will resolve the issue for you. The process of resolving those issues is when actual learning is actually taking place. Meaning you cannot restrict your learning to 2 days a week. Your journey has to be an everyday journey. Certain hours has to be committed to the process for you to see it work. If you can do that, trust me, the vocabulary that you'll be speaking at the end of the 3 months will be different. Even you yourself, you won't believe the level that you're at. I always tell my students that if I can do it, anyone with a great determination, a great mind, can do it as well. Remember, I transitioned from a non-IT background to a very technical background where I need to write codes in programming language like C#. You know, it is possible, it is doable, and it is achievable only if you can commit to the process. We are here to hold you by the hand and walk the walk with you all the way. Right. At the bottom of that page that we are now, you see that certificates alone cannot get you the job. You need hands-on practical experience to get the job. And that is what we provide. Some people will come to me and they'll tell me, oh, I'm a Scrum Master. I said, really, where are you working? I said, no, I'm not working yet. I just passed my certification. I said, don't deceive yourself. You are not a Scrum Master. You can't call yourself a Scrum Master just because you just passed a certification. Because what the book tells you is different from how it is performed in the real world. So when you go for interviews and start quoting them textbook answers, they'll fish you out. They'll know you haven't done it before. Until you've actually worked as a servant leader, in a Scrum settings, I don't think you can call yourself a Scrum Master because things are changing rapidly. It is not all about certificate again. You can have the certificate and not get a job. Why? Because you don't have the experience. Meanwhile, someone with no certificate but has got the experience will still get the job. The narratives are changing. All right, let's move on. So after the training you've done the training now, you've completed the training, you are done with the project. Now you can actually say, oh, I can perform my roles as a Scrum Master now. But you're not getting calls. No recruiter is calling you. Nobody's reaching out to you that, oh, are you available? The reason for that is because of your brand. What is your brand? Your brand is your CV that will speak for you on your behalf. Your profile, like LinkedIn profile, So you need to revamp your CV to, especially when you are applying for international role, to international standards. Your CV should be able to command respect to the extent that they want to speak to the person that owns that CV. You need to belong to popular online platform as well, like LinkedIn. You have to be in that space. Why? Because LinkedIn has become one of the most popular places that recruiters, employers now go to it, to recruit professionals. So you need to be in that space as well. These are your brand. These are the things that will speak for you, so to say. So they have to be done right. You need to take your time. I can't overemphasize how important this is as well. Is as equal is as important as the training itself. Because what's the essence when you've completed the training, you've done the project, you can actually perform the role of a Scrum Master in real life now, but you are not getting calls because of this. So what is worth doing at all? They said is worth doing well. So if you can, embark on a journey, you've gone through the training, you've gone through the practical training, then optimization of your brand needs to be done right as well. It has to be done right. And when this stage is done right, then you see the effect as well, because recruiters will start reaching out to you. They'll start calling you. Oh, we saw your profile online. Are you still in the market? And all of that. We'd like to schedule a quick call. When is your availability? Tell us your availability, and so on and so forth. And at the other end as well, you are busy applying manually for work as well. So you are getting calls back to back. When this is going on, you can be rest assured that when you are getting calls back to back, that interview is around the corner. And this is another important stage that we assist with as well. Interview preparation. At the end of the day, your success is also our success. So we are going to do everything in our power to ensure that you land your desired role. Because we believe that someone somewhere, a family, a relative, they will ask you, Richard, how did you do it? Because I could remember as the last month I spoke to you last, you were working as a customer service. How did you transition from a customer service or an accountant to a Scrum Master in the space of 2-3 months? How possible is that? And you tell them how you did it. And that is when we come into the picture, because you mentioned us, Learn with Pride. So we are on this journey together. It is not a matter of, oh, your 3 months is over, bye-bye, see you next time. No. What we are trying to create here is a community that you can leverage on. After your 3 months, it's never a goodbye. We have a platform that you still belong to. Let's even assume you secure this role at the end of the day and you are stuck. They ask you to do something. You are stuck. You really don't know how to go about it. You reach out to your facilitator. Your facilitator, unfortunately, is busy. Where do you go after that? That's the reason why we are creating and building this community that you can leverage on, that you can easily go to, ask your question, and you can be rest assured that someone on that platform has gone through what you're going through at the moment, and they can tell you how to resolve it. Aside your training days, we have another sessions that we run like twice a month as well, where we go through different things. Because remember, information is key, information is power. A tiny information that you are missing can make a huge difference. On this session, we go through different things. It might be ex-students sharing their experience. It might be those who has gone for interview sharing their experience. Those who are not getting calls. We look at different issues, on these sessions. Why? Because we are on this journey with you. As long as you are ready as well, we are ready. We are on this journey together. We are going to do everything in terms of support, in terms of everything we can do to ensure that you have huge amount of information that can help you out there, whether at the interview or elsewhere. Information is power. So those are the kind of things you get on, I can't say it all, but those are the kind of support, that you get if you enroll with us. Why on this point, let me make mention quickly other benefits that is attached to, to enrolling with us. You get the practical training, as I said earlier on. You get to work on a real life project where you'll be working as part of a full Scrum team. This is not a capstone project. This is a real life project. You get the mentorship. You get the support. You get interview preparation. Also, all our courses, they are CPD accredited, meaning they meet the professional standard. And the certificate that you get at the end of your program is recognized in over 60 countries. And finally, because you'll be working on our project, on one of our projects, we are going to be giving you a work reference at the end of the day. Meaning when you start applying for a job, we'll be there to give you a reference to say, yes, you've actually worked with us as a Scrum Master. All right, that is that. So quickly, let's move on because of our time. Just to show the stats of the conference since 2020 till date, over 20,000 students has enrolled. This is a breakdown of our courses. It's more than this now. This was last year, right? And finally, 85% of our students are currently working, 50% in public sector, 35% in private, and 15% are job ready. All right. So I got this online, product owner roles. You can see the one on the left is paying between 85 and 90,000 pounds. The other one by the right is paying between 60 and 75,000. I'm sure some people in their head, they will be thinking how possible it is for someone who just completed a 3 or a 4-month course to get this amount. I will question it myself as well. As human, we question loads of things. So I will question that myself. But it is happening. People are getting it. Aside our student who can testify to that, myself, I'm a testimony as well to that effect. There's one of our students as well. He has been applying for jobs, rejection, 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 rejection. And this very one, he didn't even put his mind. And they called him after the interview. Oh, you did well and all of that. And would like to offer you the role. And your starting salary plus other benefits is going to be 82,000 pounds. The guy had to pull over because he was driving when they gave him that news. So say, are you sure you've called the right person? Because he was never expecting that. People getting this job, the thing is, the more money you get, the lesser work you will do. That is my theory. That is what I've learned to believe. When they are paying you so little, that is when you do so much. Back then as well, when I secured my very first role as a senior software automation engineer, if I could remember very well, I believe my starting salary was maybe 50,000 as at then. And the good thing about tech, as I said earlier on, is they review your salary every year. They review your salary every year. If the company is making profit, you are getting profit sharing as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. You have time to go for trainings. You have to go for training. You don't even have time for training. It is mandatory for you to be trained, as in for you to go for certain trainings before the end of the year. So there's a room for personal growth. There's a room for personal growth. Many people will be looking at me that this guy is like, this is what you've been doing since you were born. That's a lie. Again, for those that are interested in knowing my story, I believe it's on YouTube on our channel. I believe so. Me that you are looking at, I've done every job that you can ever think of, even as a master's student in accounting. I've worked as a cleaner, I've worked as a driver, I've worked as a warehouse boy, I've worked as a security. There's no job I haven't done. So I questioned it as well. When someone told me that, do you know, how much they are earning, all these people, I questioned it. Even if you want to know, when I see young guys dressing good, riding good cars, I always call them Yahoo guys. If you haven't been to other people's farm, you always think that your dad's farm is the biggest. I never thought people could be earning this much. I questioned it. Not until I started the process and I started my own research before I got to know that, wow, people are actually earning good. That could be you as well, you know. All right, the second slide, this is the Scrum Master role. The one on the left is paying 75,000, and the one on the right is paying between 50,000 and 60,000. Everything that they are requesting for on air, by the time you are done, you know how to perform all of them. I always tell people the most easiest point of entry, although some people will question that, the most easiest point of entry to tech roles is through Scrum Master. By the time you know your onions, they don't do much. I'm sure someone will question that as well, especially the facilitator, but they end so well. They end so good. Sorry, couldn't see the screen. Please, if you can see my screen, please drop 1 on the chat. If you can see my screen, please drop 1 on the chat. Someone just said they cannot see my screen. If you can see my screen, please just drop 1 on the chat. All right, so it's not from me. So please check your screen. I'm sure you can hear us. You can log out and log back in. It's definitely not from me. All right, let's move on before I hand over the mic to Zoom. If you are using a phone, definitely it's going to be tiny. If you are using a mobile, it will be tiny. But if you are using a standard whatever computer, yeah, you'll see it clearly. All right, so the actual cost for the duration of the program is £799. There's no hidden fee anywhere. But there's a 40% discount for anyone that wants to go on this journey. The next cohort will be starting on the 25th of May, and we have 8 slots available for that journey. So for anyone that wants to enroll on or before the 25th of May, you can get 40%, provided we still have slots. After 40% discount, you'll be looking at paying £479, which you can pay twice as well. So this is for those that wants to enroll on or before the 25th of May, provided we still have a slot by the time you reach out. But again, we want to do something for other people that really want to change the narratives, other people that, you know what, I'm ready to invest on this journey so that I can change my own story as well. It can happen to anyone who believes. It can happen to anyone who is ready for the journey. We have a special discount for those kind of people as well. So this offer is only a 48 hours offer, meaning it's going to expire on the 11th of May, which is 2 days time, 48 hours offer. For anyone that wants to enroll between now and 48 hours time, you can actually get it for £350. That is a further reduction of £100. That is a bargain you won't get anywhere else. Provided, with everything you'll be getting on the journey. And we are not part of the people that promise what we cannot deliver. No, not at all. Whatever we've said on this call that we told you we are going to do is what we are going to do. So for anyone that wants to, you want to go on this journey and you are looking for the right company to take you on this journey, you are looking for who to hold you by the hand and walk the walk with you, we are ready for you whenever you are ready as well. In Naira, the actual cost, the £799, the actual cost in Naira is 900,000 Naira. After 40%, you are looking at 540,000 naira, which you can pay twice. But again, for anyone that wants to tap into this 48 hours blessing, I'll say, in naira, you can get it for 400,000 naira. But that is only for 48 hours. The good thing about that 48 hours offer again is you can actually pay twice as well. It's not everything that is due. You can pay half. You can start with half payment, and the other half you can pay within 4 to 5 weeks after you've started. So, what are you waiting for? You know, for those who has done their due diligence, called other people, you know how much Scrum Master training is going for out there. But again, we believe in the success of people. If we are able to take you on a journey at this price, and you are able to land a role at the end of the journey, we are certain that you are going to refer someone to us. We are certain that you are going to talk about us in a positive way. That is what we are after. So, if you are interested in anything I've said so far, and you want to secure one of these 8 spots, the best WhatsApp number to message for enrollment is the one on your screen right now. So meaning you can save it on your phone or you can take a screenshot. But for enrollment, for anything regarding this journey, the number on your screen is the best number for you to reach out to message and secure your spot. It doesn't matter your location, whether you're in Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, South Africa. We can send you a payment link that you can use to make payment, that they won't charge you. You don't have to pay so much charges from the bank before you make a payment to a company in the UK. No, just let us know. And also, you can pay with your credit or debit card as well. Whichever means you want to pay, we can provide that means for you to be able to make the payment as well. So, for now, I'm going to be pausing. And I'm going to be inviting the facilitator that will take you on the journey if you decide to go on this journey with us, to tell you more about the role, the benefit that is attached to becoming a Scrum Master in this day of age. So without further ado, I thank you for listening to me. I shall be back shortly. But before then, Yemi, over to you. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
All right. Thank you, Aki. I don't know if I'm audible. I don't know if anyone can
Yes,
hear me.
yes, you are.
All right, let me just share my screen and go quickly. Okay, I want to believe my screen is up now.
Yes.
Uh, okay, good, good, good. Hi everyone. Good evening. It's nice to have you join us in this overview session. My name is Yemi Odebote. I'm the trainer. I I would eventually be a trainer if you'd be joining us. And so, who is Yemi Odebote? I'm a safe 6 advanced Scrum Master, a project manager, an agile delivery manager, and a strategic business consultant. Yes, and fortunately, I've been able to work with various organizations. So the ones that I can mention here, I put them up here with Union Bank, InterSwitch, Wakana, Villain Consulting Firm. So that's more like a quick brief about me on the slides. Right, on the next slide. So this talked about my journey. I hear Ike mentioned how he also transitioned. I myself, I transitioned, right? The picture to the left sort of when everything all started. Then people don't really do meetings on Zoom. You meet in a physical class. You do a lot of uh, exercises. You discuss as a Scrum Master. Is it productive project? If you look at this picture very well, we're like two persons that are young. So in those days, they get to send the directors, the executives to train in the agile way of working because it was some buzzword and people needed to know what's going on. Um, Unlike now, where a lot of people are seeing the need for it, and because of remote work and because of the change of mindset, people don't really care much about how old you are, right? So far you can get the job done. And I had to have this image beside it to show like the current status, the advancement. And this was an event organized by Learnwithpride last month, right? You can look that up online. It was a tech event to talk about what they do, and we're able to bring. Fortunately, I was one of the speakers at the event, and it was a great one. You guys can look at their website, the social media to see more about how everything went down at the event. But still talking about my journey, like where I started from and where I am currently and how things are going. It's been amazing. And also you can look me up on LinkedIn if you want to also know more about me professionally. My name is Yemi Debote on LinkedIn. You can check me out and just get to, you could connect, speak to me if you have further questions and stuff like that. All right. Not to waste much of our time. Uh, I want to go right into why we're here, right? Aside from the important bits that I can also has mentioned, right? So one thing I love about being a Scrum Master is you can literally do many things, be many things, acquire or play more roles. Like you could be a product owner, you could be a product manager, you could be a project manager. You can even decide that, what, I want to do a bit of um quality assurance, right? Because you're a change agent. So the role allows you to be very versatile, and the role can also let you get promoted in a managerial role faster. Why? Because you are going to be when you're going for a managerial role, you're going to be doing less of technical work. You're going to not be managing people, your subordinate, because this role involves a lot of people leadership, people development. So it's somewhat can quickly position you for a managerial role. Speaking from experience based on my current status. Um, what else? And I also love the combo for this course. I always say it every time I get to, speak to people about it. The Scrum Master slash product owner, because like I said earlier, it can allow you to be a Scrum Master and comfortably be a product owner. And also, fortunately, I've been able to train close to over 500 people to become a Scrum Master, Product Manager, Project Manager, with good feedback. And I still keep in touch, right? As a lot of people would have, a lot of you guys here, for those that have no idea who a Scrum Master is, I'm sure you might have gone online, check Google, even ask AI or ChatGPT to know who is Scrum Master or what is Scrum, or some will say what is a Scrum Master, right? So Scrum is a framework. A framework is not directly proportional. I mean, it does not directly mean a methodology. Like we have the proper method of if you want to go here, press one, press two. That's like a methodology. Press one to do this, press two to do this. So Scrum is a framework. It's an agile framework because it makes software development, product development to be flexible, adaptable, just like a fluid or like a liquid, right? So that is what Scrum is. And a Scrum Master is someone that has mastered that framework and can use that framework to help organization teams to build software, to build products comfortably. Even if it's uncomfortable, the framework is so adaptive that it can help people to grow, right? That's in a layman explanation of it. But if we go further based on the slide, I'm just going to run through it, right? So that you have an understanding of what you're going into and how this speaks to your personality. right? Let's look at look at the roles, responsibility, and the stances. So what about the role? Role talks about number one, a process facilitator. Um, if you what Akin just did is somewhat like someone that is facilitating, but in this case, he's just giving you tips, giving you pointers. But in that role, as a Scrum Master role, you are facilitating based on an agenda so that you can have an action point. You're facilitating change, you're facilitating improvement, you are asking critical, intelligent questions that will help your team, your organization to get to where they need to get to faster without beating around the bush, right? So there's a strategic way of doing that. And as a Scrum Master, you can really excel in that manner. There's some organizations that they are so chaotic that they need someone that can even help them put their thoughts, their ideas together. So even as a Scrum Master, you can be an operations manager, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. It's such a versatile role that you're going to be needed and very important, even you're not actually being a Scrum Master. They said help build sales organizing team, just as the number one, the first one organizing team is there's nothing an organization grows when their people are able to organize themselves to developing value to customers. So if you have your team member, you have the business owner, A is thinking south, B is thinking north, it's going to be very difficult to actually achieve something, right? As an organizing team, it means as a Scrum Master, you can help those teams to figure out a way to work together by themselves and be high performing. Another interesting role, yeah, if you ask me. Another interesting bit is remove impediments and escalate when needed. Organizations, some organizations, let me say a lot, they get to meet roadblocks, setbacks, these challenges, that challenges, and they've tried to, figure out many ways to put those roadblocks out of their way. But it can get overwhelming if you are just a CEO, just one person trying to do all of these things. But if you can have someone that understands the framework and can help you to remove these impediments, is a plus for you, right? So there's also a skill to that. It's a special skill on its own. The next one is help team inspect and adapt. If you have challenges in organization and there isn't any transparency into the problem or the challenges that the organization is having, it might be very difficult to inspect where the problem is coming from and adapt the solution you need. In simple terms, as a Scrum Master, you can help the team to feel comfortable to express themselves, the challenges they are facing, so that they can come up or we can come up with a solution they can adapt to. This is another interesting high-ranking role for a Scrum Master that makes it very, very valuable in any organization if you know how to do it. Like I mentioned earlier, some go by the book, some go by theory. So if you speak theoretically as a Scrum Master, even if you get a job by luck, it is it's about 80% chance that that person's contract will have to be cancelled because they are going to see through the person's buwaha, right? So this is empowers the team through servant leadership. Servant leadership does not mean slavery. It means a leader who can lead by an example. Meaning you can put yourself forward and say, I'm going to show you how to do these things, right? But I am not going to do it forever or continue do it continually. I'm going to stop at one point. Then you need to take this up and learn and grow from there. That is quote unquote how a servant leader looks like. So you're not a scrum master. A scrum master isn't a secretary. A scrum master is not someone to serve to your, buy food. No, no, no. You're more than that. You are. That is why I say it is very easy, but easier for a scrum master to to move into a managerial position. Meaning you can be a scrum master and you can be a delivery manager or agile delivery manager or an enterprise agile coach or even being an SVP because you've already been trained to deal with people, to deal with products, to handle processes, you've been, and all of these angles. Say protect the team from disturbances. This is another important role. Maybe you're given a job by your line manager, and there's another person giving another job. You're so distracted. You're doing this one, you're doing that. When everyone they ask you for updates, you don't know where to go. It eventually becomes really chaotic, and you're super confused on how to deliver on your timelines. So Scrum Master, there are ceremonies or events that we do that can help us to identify what this person needs to take on at a particular period of time so that we can measure their deliverables or their deliveries. Interesting, I must say. There are more rules, but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are like key to what a Scrum Master does. So the responsibility to the product owner, the development team, and the organization. The product owner, this is more like the business person in the Scrum team. They can liaise with internal and external stakeholders. External stakeholders being customers, internal stakeholders being the executives, those that are contributing to the development of your products or your software. Development team are those that are actually going to do that will be doing the development work itself. Then the organization, if this is semi repeating that continuously, that it's it can be very it is very easy, but easier for a Scrum Master to graduate to a leadership role because you're also responsible for the organization. You're going to be coaching the leaders, you're going to be promoting the framework, you're going to be facilitating change. They're going to be asking you questions that, how do you think we should go about this change? What are the things we're missing? The things that are not even written in the Scrum guide in anywhere. Yeah, the Scrum guide will tell you the laid out principle processes, but because different organizations have different way of working, and if you're not adaptive or you're not being trained by someone that has that multi-verse experience, you might just be like a typical Scrum Master that just facilitates a meeting. Okay. So stances are like the area the position you can take as a Scrum Master. Yeah, you can be a servant leader, you can be a coach, facilitator, a teacher, mentor, a manager, an impediment remover, a change agent, right? These are these eight eight stances indirectly means that it can be there are even different titles on its own in different organizations, different roles that you can take on in different organizations. If you look at it very well, you're a change agent, meaning you can even be in quality assurance, you can help with audit, you can even be an auditor, you can help in improvement of processes, you can be a manager. Though the manager here is talking about how you can do like an health check for the team, how you can help them to improve, how you can ensure that they are not choked with work, not like they are all choked and tired and they're all resigning. You should be able to speak for them that, oh, this work this person is doing tomorrow. We need to hire more people and things like that, right? More of that when you join. So I don't want to take much of our time. So if I go to the next slide, so what about a product owner? Since this course is 2 in 1, right? So product owner in this case, as you can see, based on this ring, we have 2 big rings and 3 small rings. So the first ring is talking about the Scrum team. Here you have the product owner, the Scrum Master, development team. They're all working together. And the product owner is also liaising with the internal stakeholder and customers. You're going to be getting requirements from both internal stakeholders and external collaborators, customers on what they would like to build and what type of products, what is that the thing you need to build. And you as a product owner, you take these requirements and you put it in something called a backlog that has a prioritized list of everything that needs to be done to build our products. From there, as a product owner, you have a conversation with your Scrum Master. The Scrum Master will do some checks to be sure that we are actually ready to start work on these things. The development team come in, they start picking those items in bits, right? That is the purpose of Scrum, picking items in bits rather than waterfall, where you do everything all at once. We do in bits, we have an increment. We're doing bits just like your WhatsApp. Sometimes you just see that WhatsApp is telling you have a new update. If you check WhatsApp again, they have a new update. They're adding this, they're changing things. It's because they are gathering requirement from us, the users, and they are making changes and they are building them in bits rather than waiting for everything to be done at once. Imagine Facebook. Facebook initially was just chats and what's that? Just like unlike now where Facebook looks like you can even watch a whole movie on Facebook now. Different short clips, the marketplace, um, doing status to stay in the middle, 24 hours, a lot of things happening. It is because they have a product team that is getting requirements from customers, speaking with the development team, and they're developing. There will always be products to be built forever and ever. And at every point, they will always need a product owner. They will always need a product manager. They will always need someone to help out, to organize a team, a scrum master. So this is forever and ever. Products will always be needed, except if what has ended. Do you get what I mean? That is why even in the next 10 years, the next 50 years, there will always be a need for software. And everything is all AI, everything is all tech. Tech is not going anywhere. It's going to be all super techy in the next 100 years. Well, that is if the world has not ended. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're going into this agile way of working, frameworks can be refined, but you're already in the space. You already know what's going on. You've already build yourself in that area. So by the time they are just grow, you probably just be one CTO somewhere, right? If you're not a CTO, you probably are like SVP, or maybe are even hired at be the MD of one organization because you've been able to liaise with tech team, with product team, with business, with customer. You know the requirements of the beauty of this thing is you don't even have to know how to write any code. You don't even have to know what's happening in that code. But eventually, when you work with the team, you understand a bit of the lingua, but it is not a requirement to get what I mean. Right. So that is why this is super interesting. Moving forward, let me change the slide. So people just wonder, what's the difference between a product owner and a scrum master? What's the relationship? If you've been following you realize that their differences aren't much and they're somewhat related based on what they do because everybody's going to achieve a goal. We want to build products, want new software, we want to be customer happy, we want to make money, and we need you to help us make that money, right? So I already talked about a lot on the Scrum Master beats. You're responsible to the development team, to the organization, and the product owner. So yeah, yeah. So that's why I say Scrum Master is just amazing. Because if you look at it, this indirectly means you will literally have an understanding of what a product owner does. You have an understanding what's happening in an organization. So you're like super vast. They had you in mails, you have an idea what's going on. So with a product owner, you have more information on what the customer needs, the customer requirement, how to put documentations together, how to gather requirements, how to prioritize um your features. What should be prioritized first? Just as I was talking about WhatsApp, Facebook, it they have discussed on what should we even prioritize list, how the items that have the highest business value, what are those things our customers will need? We need to do those things first. And you just don't say this is the things, this is the product we want to be. What if the customer are not going to like it? These are the things you need to know. And these are the things the book might not even tell you. Right? So talk of collaboration, and things like that. Don't let me take much time here, because there's some lingua you might get confused about. But once we start the classes, you're gonna get more information on what's about product backlog, what is product backlog, how do you do product prioritization, how do you do documentation, how do you use Confluence and Jira to make your life easier, what's your take, how do you define your role, how can you not jump into doing what the Scrum Master does, or what is Scrum Master or product owner. There's one of our trainees that recently got a job. So he was speaking with me, giving me feedback on how the organization went. Then he said, Admin, you didn't clearly tell us how to differentiate our role, our function. Uh, they would have just given me a lot of multiple things to be doing, but I was able to tell them that, oh, this is where my work stopped. Not that I can't do what you're saying, but this is what a product person is supposed to be doing. And that's fantastic because that means you are mature in your job function and what you're supposed to do. So if we get on the journey together, we have 13 topics and we have about 53 subtopics. Yeah, 53. And these have been grouped into 8 sessions. And so this is going to be speaking to what you really need to survive when you get a job and what you need to do before getting the job. We're going to have interview sessions like a whole almost 2 hours, talk about different interview questions, come up with interview questions, because it is very important to package yourself, get the job and excel at the job. Not just getting the job, excelling at the job, because people will see through you. And the beautiful thing about this is you're going to do a live project, meaning you're going to actually operate like you are at the job already. And our practical classes will also, you know, drill you, but that's also dependent on who you are if you're going to do all the necessary things. But yeah, so we'll look at the history of Agile. I always tell people that the beginning of Agile will always reflect throughout your journey, unlike where people say, oh, it's introductory class. Now, what are they doing there? The first class will always be the foundation, and everything becomes a build up, a build up, a build up. So the roles, organization is Scrum, to the Scrum. Remember, these are just topics. They have subtopics under. Sorry, I think I've omitted. Okay, this is the next one. So we have product documentation, product prioritization, and how to write user stories. You know, very, very important, a very, very needed skill for Scrum Master, a product owner. And the tools you're going to be using, you're going to learn how to use Jira, Confluence, Miro. If you can use Jira, if you can use Confluence, there's no tool you'll be able to use, no matter the tool they're using at that organization. Okay, I think I've been able to quickly run through this, just to give us a glimpse of what we'll be expecting, how we dress in the class would be, and for everyone to participate. All right, thank you. Thank you. Akin, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Yemi. So if you have any question, please, this is the time you can raise your hand or you can drop your questions on the chat and I'll be reading them out. But I'd like to hear from you. So please, you can raise your hand. We are here to learn together, right? So don't be shy to raise your hand and talk to us, let's hear from you what you think and how we can be of help as well. While you're still thinking about if you want to talk to me or not, let me quickly run through um, the structure once again for those who joined late. So the training will be starting, the 3 months training program will be starting on the 25th of May. That's when the next cohort will be starting. And the cost for that is £799 for the 3 months program. But at the moment, there's a 40% discount on it. So that will make it £479. And I said earlier on as well that you can pay this twice. You can start with half payment and the other half can be paid within, what's it called? 4 to 5 weeks after you've started. There's no restriction on it. As I said, the training is starting on the 25th, so you can still register, I believe, on the 23rd, provided we still have a slot. When we started this session, we started with 8 slots. At the moment, it's on 7 slots now. So we only have 7 slots available. That is why it is important if you really, really want to change, rewrite the story, embark on a journey, it is better to grab the copy, grab your own copy now, make the commitment now. And I promise you, you'll never regret it. So that's the 40%. But again, there's a further discount, but that one is only for 48 hours for those who are really, really ready and they are eager to get on the training and change the narratives. So instead of paying £479, you can now get it for £350, but that is only for 48 hours. That offer expires on the 11th of May. That is in 2 days time. you know so, and the good thing about this as well is it's supposed to be a one-time payment. but we are not even going to make it a one-time payment. You can even pay twice for this one as well. We just want you to commit yourself. We want to do everything in our power to help you and achieve your goals as well. That is why we are giving that price away for 48 hours, you know, um, you know, for those that wants to take advantage of that. Again, you can pay twice. In Naira, the actual cost in Naira for the 799 pounds in Naira is 900,000 Naira. After the 40% discount, then you are looking at 540,000 Naira, which you can pay twice as well. But if you want to take up the 48 hours offer or discount as well, you can get it for 400,000 Naira, and you can as well still pay twice as well. So for anyone that wants to get on the journey, the best number to message to enroll is the number on your screen right now. For those that still want to, maybe you don't know much about Learn with Pride and you want to know more about Learn with Pride, you can do that on our social media page, or also you can go on, there's a platform called Trustpilot, where you can read the feedbacks and what people are saying about us as well, because I'm sure you want to do your own due diligence before you invest your money. That is how confident we are, about what people are saying about their experience on the journey as well. So the number on your screen right now is the best number for you to contact if you want to take the offer, the 48 hours offer, or the other one, provided that we still have a slot. Please message that number now, or save it on your phone, or take a screenshot. All right, let's get to the question. Tony, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right, good afternoon. I want to know, is it a weekend program?
All right, so the training, as I said earlier on, so it's a 3-month program, but the first 4 weeks is for practical training, which runs every Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the morning. Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time in the evening. All sessions are recorded as well. Everyone will be onboarded on our LMS platform where you have access to the recording as well, just in case you miss any of the classes. So the classes runs twice a week for 4 weeks. Then after you are done with the practical training and you are starting on the project, because you'll be following the agile rituals, that will run Monday to Friday. But that Monday to Friday, we know everybody works. So the timing for your meetings will be decided by you and your team members. At the moment, those on the project at the moment, they have various different timings, different projects. Some are doing their meetings 7 p.m., some 8 p.m., some 9 p.m. But the agreement, will be made with you, between you and your team members, when your meeting will be holding when you get on the live project. I hope I've been able to answer that. You can unmute yourself, Tony, I don't know whether that is good enough or you want to add to that question.
Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. UK time?
Yes, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. UK time on Saturday, and on Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time as well. But all sessions are recorded.
Okay. So is the program the same thing for the Scrum Master?
Yeah, it's the Scrum Master training now.
Okay.
So you are getting you are getting 2 trainings for the price of one. You are getting a Scrum Master training and you are getting a product owner training.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you are getting both. And also on the project, you'll be acting both as well. The reason for that is when you start applying for a job, we don't want you to restrict yourself to just one. You can capitalize on both. And even if you secure your first role as a Scrum Master, there's nothing stopping you to look for another role as a product owner at the same time as well. The most important is getting the money. All right. Thanks, Tony, for that. If you have any other question, maybe later on you can raise your hand again. John, You can unmute yourself and ask your question, John.
Right. Good evening.
Good
I
evening.
want to ask the training. After undergoing the training, do I still, and you said there will be a certificate, do I still need to write the Scrum Master exams?
So the CPD certificate, so the CPD stands for Continuous Professional Development, is to ensure that what we are dishing out, what we are training you, is of standard and meets the professional standard. And also the certificate coming from them, not even from us, from the CPD standards, is recognized in over 60 countries. As for the certificate, yes, if you still want to go ahead, some people really like, anything that has to do with certification, if you still want to go and do it, even maybe when you secure that role and you say, you know what, let me just go and do it for the sake of doing it, you can still do it if you want to do it. It is not hard to pass. It is not hard to pass. So you can still do it if you want to do it. All right. Thanks, John. Daniel, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Daniel.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for the this thing. The class was very interesting. I have 3 questions.
Please ask them one by one so that I won't forget.
Number one is that what's the difference between a framework and methodology? That's number one.
Hold on. Yemi, please, can you respond to that? Let's take it one by one, Daniel.
Okay.
Hello, Yemi, are you there? Hello, Yemi, are you there? All right, ask the second question.
Okay.
Please,
And number
I was
two.
thinking on
Okay.
mute.
All right, is there?
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, my first question
Sorry,
is what's the difference between framework and methodology? That's my
Okay.
first question.
All right.
Okay.
Well, if you look at it from perspective, methodology, it tells you a direct way, point one, point two, to do things. Like if you want to open your door, press the doorbell, then bend, then turn over, then move. So there's some level of rigidity that goes with using a methodology, right? Now, they are now saying that why can't we call it a framework? Because Scrum in itself is incomplete. What does that mean? It means that yes, we have Scrum ceremonies that we must do. Even the book will tell you your daily Scrum should be 15 minutes, but there are sometimes these things changes in real life experience. So a framework looks like a semi-liquid that can change shape, that can change form. And that is just what Agile is. And that's why they call it a framework. We can change shape, we can change form in a way of doing things. But that doesn't mean we are going to make the process, we are going to twist it upside down, or else you're not doing Scrum. A good example in real life is you're supposed to meet by 9 a.m. every morning, right? A methodology will say if you don't meet by 9 a.m., there will be consequences and things might fail. But in Scrum, we can agree that, you know what, though we can meet by 9 a.m., why can't we have 3-minute allowance for everyone to check their network, prepare for your network, prepare for your timing, prepare for all of this, then by 9:03 we start. Does that work? So the framework allows people to agree on how best they can work rather than telling people this is the way of working. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay. How best they can work.
Yes, how best they can work. Remember, there are some things you cannot change in Scrum in terms of the Scrum ceremonies, right?
Yeah.
But the team can agree on how best they can work, or else they are not going to be self-organizing. They can't be high-performing if you are telling them to do everything, do this. Eventually, methodology allows, it points people to becoming micromanagers. You end up using micromanaging way of people working. You take autonomy. They don't have a sense of belonging as a team. Then the whole agile work becomes, let me say, rubbish. All right, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now. To my second question, can I go on?
Yeah, go on, go on.
Yeah. Does a Scrum Master and a product manager conduct gap analysis?
But if you must know, gap analysis is not a dedicated tool for either a Scrum Master or a product manager. What do I mean? Even the Scrum Guide did not categorically say use gap analysis. Anybody can use gap analysis. Where were we in the past? Where are we currently? Why are we not there yet? What are the gaps? What are things we need to do? What are things we need to fulfill? Now, in Scrum, there's something called sprint retrospective that allows us to look back and review how we've worked within a certain period. Then what are the improvements we need to take note so that we can apply it to the next work or projects or items you want to work on next, right? So gap analysis, using gap analysis is not a tool dedicated to anybody. Even me as an individual, I can use it. Where am I currently? Where do I need to be in the past? Or where was I? What are the gaps? What did I meet? How can I meet them? What were the risks, dependencies, all those things? Do you get what I mean?
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. And my third question, me, I'm not going to, yeah, I was saying, okay, me, I'm a student here in the UK, and I don't know if there's any package for students like us because me, like this, I'm not working up to 20 hours per week, and I don't know if there's anything you can help us with for students, sir. Those are my three questions.
All right. So for that one, let me answer that.
Mhm.
Elsewhere, even only the Scrum training, you'll be looking way over £1,000 elsewhere. For us to be offering it as low as £350, and you even have the option to pay twice, that is no brainer. That is even way more than, student discount. I can guarantee you that. See, um, we should, when you invest into the process, this £350, might become what you'll be earning on a daily basis. I'm not saying, it is easy to come around the 350 pounds. That's why the fact that it's been reduced so much, especially students. But look at the future. I'll give you a good scenario of someone in the UK as well who finished schooling, maybe masters, or I didn't even know what she came to do. She was on post-study visa. She needed a sponsorship. She did a business analysis course. She invested. She even paid over £500 for that course. Right? She invested into that process. She finished it, started applying for a job. Most of them are saying, they are not giving sponsorship. I told you know what? Apply, whether they say they are giving sponsorship or they are not giving sponsorship, apply to everything. Let that be their headache to sort it out. They called her for interview for this particular role at this particular company. She did well. At the end of the day, they offered her the role. But when they are offering her the role, they asked, what visa have you got? And she said, post-study. But they needed someone on a longer period, not short. And these people already put on the application when she was applying that they are not giving sponsorship. It was written boldly in red. But they came back to her and said, you know what? We'll be delighted. We'd like to offer you, if you don't mind, apply for sponsorship for you. The only but is going to delay your resumption date for 2 months. If she hasn't invested in the process to start with, she won't be in that position where someone is offering her a sponsorship role. It's a very known company, PwC, if you want to know. So we've reduced to the barest minimum that we can. It is you that you should look at the benefit that is attached to, empowering yourself, with this skill and what you can start getting from it in 4, 5, 6, 7 months time, but we've really tried for offering it for 350 pounds.
Thank you, sir. No problem.
You're welcome. For any other question, you can message that number on your screen. All right, Aziz, you raise your hand, Aziz.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Aziz.
Yeah, thanks for the knowledge sharing. Please, I have some brief questions. My first question is, though I'm in the UK presently on a student dependent visa, and I'm on post-study visa. So I'm looking for a course I can do whereby I'll be able to get a sponsorship. So when I got a mail to join the Scrum Master, so I said, okay, let me just give it a try and join and see what can come out from it. Though the Scrum Master, I've been hearing of Scrum Master because there are some of my friends that they are into it in the US and they are doing good. It's a well-paid job and it's something one can easily do if someone is serious about it.
Yes.
But I don't know if you said you are offering some other courses and you've been in the UK, you have more experience, and I don't know any course you can advise that, okay, if possible, if one can go for the course and the person is good, he or she is good on the course and the rates of sponsorship or which of the course one can go for that, be able to, one can easily get sponsorship of.
See,
Because that is my major.
that is the mistake that
first.
most of us make. That is a common mistake, so to say. I just cited an example now of someone who was applying for a job, but only applying for a sponsorship role, neglecting other roles. See, any role in tech can give you sponsorship.
Okay.
Right? The moment you can prove your worth to the employer, despite the fact that they tell you they are not giving sponsorship, it is easier for them to apply for that sponsorship visa for you than for them to start the recruitment process all over again. That is the mistake most people make. It is not about which job can give me a sponsorship role. It is about which role can I do effectively and can I prove my worth so that these people will see me as an asset and want to invest in me. You can get that from any role, whether be it Scrum Master, business analysis, product owner, DevOps, software testing, any of the roles can give you that. But it is you that now need to look at each of these roles. Which one can I fit in most? Which one, am I really good at that? I can apply all my soft skills and all of that, and I can excel in it as well. But any role in tech can do that for you.
Okay, thank you. Then too, because like this Scrum Master of a team, there was one of my friends in the US just gave me a brief knowledge about it, and he was talking about the PSM exam. I think there's PSM 1, 2, and 3 or so. I don't know. Is it necessary that one has to take PSM 1 before you can take 2 or 3, or one can as well go for 3 directly?
As for the certification, I'll leave that to me. But this is what I want you to know as well. I know the way we've been built. We've been built to rely heavily on certification. I'm not faulting that.
Yeah, but sorry, is it possible to get the training without certification? Is it possible to get the job?
Yes.
So I don't know.
Capital
some
yes.
Might be looking.
YES.
Okay.
YES. But even if you do PSN 1, 2, 3 that you're talking about, and you don't have the technical know-how, you don't have the knowledge, you will not get a job. So you are just wasting your money by doing certifications, chasing dreams.
Okay.
We need to be smart with our decisions. Things are changing. Everything doesn't wrap around certification. I got my very first role even then. I had other certifications, but the software testing, I did not. Not until I secured my very first role, I thought, you know what, let me go and do it. And I just did it for the sake of doing it. And up until the moment I stopped working 9 to 5, nobody, no company, and I've worked with so many companies, consultancy, education, health, oil and gas banking. None of them asked me to tender that certification.
Okay.
You
That
know?
is my major concern, if with something one can do. So if one want to do self-development, that can be in the future, but getting a
Yes,
job
you can do it in the future. Yes.
then too, I don't know if your company helps with not by getting job for someone. There are some company they might tell you the sites to go
Yes, we do all
to
that.
do.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you
Because there are some
mm,
sites. Some might
y-
not be on LinkedIn. There might be some
yes,
secret sites.
see, what we
Some
do,
pressure.
I made mention of it earlier on as well. We have a community. On that community, we do a whole lot of things. We post jobs. We do all sort of things. As long as you are ready for the journey, we are ready for you as well. We post different jobs on that platform as well. We show you what and what to do as well, and all of that. So you are not alone. That's why I keep saying that on the journey, for those who are really serious, you are not alone on the journey. You have the support, you have the mentorship and all of that.
Okay, thank you. Then too, because most of the weekends I always work, but I work with a supported living. So that is the most important. I want to change the job. It's not my kind of thing job. And I'll be aspiring to venture into, to go into care, tech of a thing, because I'm doing project management with one company, Advanced Career, presently. And normally they take the training Saturdays too, and I always work Saturdays, Sundays. So I don't know, do you guys have LMS platform whereby the recording class might be there? I can go through it as my, leisure time, or
Yes,
when I'm
we do.
free.
Yes, we do. So everyone will be onboarded on our LMS platform. So meaning all the sessions will be recorded in case you miss any. You
Okay.
can log into your LMS and rewatch the recording as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Aziz.
Um,
All right, let me go through the chat. If you still have any other question, please, you can raise your hand. Again, while you're thinking of raising your hand, please, I'll go through the message on the chat. Donald, Naira equivalent. So the actual cost in Naira is 900. After 40% is 540. And if you are taking the 48 hours offer, you can get it for 400 and you can pay twice as well. How long, Isaac? How long will the training last? The training is for 3 months. But in some situations where you have a delayed start for the project, for the project, maybe you didn't start your sprint early, you can be extended as well, because the aim is for you to deliver an MVP by the end of your 2 months working on a project. But if you have a delayed start, then we can still give you an extension to deliver that. So everything is around 3 to 4 months, so to say. That is to Isaac. Daniel, you raise your hand again. You can unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. So I wanted to ask, during the duration of the class, is it that we're going to like be selected on the path we want to venture into? Is this Scrum Master product, or is it that during the project we'll know what we want to do?
No. All right. So that question is in 2 parts. It all depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
We are set to equip you with all the knowledge
Okay.
that you need. So for some people, they will like to capitalize on both, because you can actually put both on your CV, right? But for some, by the end of the program, you can say, you know what, I think I see myself more as a Scrum Master, or I see myself more as a product owner. By so saying, but maybe I'll only be applying for a Scrum Master role. You've made your decision, meaning you don't like product owner. But you've gone through the journey before you made that decision, because even on the project, you'll be acting both roles. In sprint, the first sprint, you might act as a Scrum Master. The following sprint, you might act as a product owner, at least getting your hands dirty to know what each roles entail, so that when you start going for interviews, you can defend that, So you can make your decision by the time you finish and say, you know what, I think I'm good as a product owner. Or you can like both and say, you know what, I want to capitalize on both and use it on my CV. I said it earlier on as well that your first role, you might get it as a Scrum Master. There's nothing stopping you from looking for another role. And maybe that one can be a product owner, meaning you are doing 2 jobs, at the same time. If you can do it, but you need to know your onions before you can do that. Has I answered your question, Daniel?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Awesome.
All right, you're welcome. All right, let me go through the charts. All right, Nkechi, good to know we can pay half for the 48 hours deal. Right, how much in rands? I'll need to consult Google for that. But whatever it is in rands, we are still sending you the payment link in pounds. By the time you are using your debit or credit card to pay, your bank will use the right exchange rate and convert it at that point. But you can have a rough idea if you go on Google and check. At least that will give you a rough idea. Tony, you raise your hand again. You can unmute yourself now.
Yeah, sorry. The question I want to ask is, when will the 48 hours elapse? Is it
11.
tomorrow
No,
or Sunday? This tomorrow or Saturday?
That will be Saturday. End of day on Saturday.
Saturday.
This time on Saturday.
Okay.
This time on
What
Saturday.
about for the payment in Naira? What about if one is doing a transfer? Don't you have a local account?
Yes, message that number on your screen. They will, it will be sent to you as well.
Okay, good.
Yeah. If you want to pay in
All right,
Naira,
thank you.
message the number. Yeah, they will send you the screen, the account details.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thanks. Aziz, you raise your hand. You can unmute yourself, Aziz, again.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, after the first 4 weeks training,
Yes, sir.
you said we are going to go into the practical class.
Live project.
Live project.
Yeah, even the 4 weeks is it's a practical class that you'll still be involved in many projects. But yes, the real project starts after 4 weeks.
Okay, after that 4 weeks, so I think we are going to have like a trainer for the people we'll be working with, rather.
Yeah,
so,
you have
I think you
the
mentioned
rest of
something.
the team.
Okay, I think you mentioned that it will be maybe 5 days in a week, maybe.
Yes, because what is worth doing at all is worth doing well. When you start working out there, it's Monday to Friday, right? All these agile rituals, daily stand-up, sprint planning, sprint retrospective, and
Like
all of that.
15 minutes,
Yeah,
the list under
and all of
15
that.
minutes.
So, but we understand that everyone works. You go from family, you need to work. So the timing for your meetings will be decided by you and your team members. So if I should go with the ones on project right now, they have different timings. Some group will do their own meetings at 7 p.m., some 8 p.m., some 7:30, some 10 p.m. So, but that will be the decision of you and your team members to make.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. All right, let me read on the chat. You can still raise your hand if you have any other question, please. Your line is breaking. Does the price include exam? No, we only focus on practical training. No PSM exam is involved. No, we don't deal with exams. Tunde, great and great overview of the course. Nkechi, Scrum Master, Product Owner, Scrum Team. All right, I'm on Nkechi now, and she happened to raise her hand. Nkechi, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, and insight you've given unto us this
You're
evening.
welcome. You're welcome.
Just to a quick one. Is this training is CV revamp included? How are we going to be helped to do?
All right. That is a very good question. Let me answer that question by going back to what is the benefit attached to enrolling with Learnwithpride. So number 1, you get the practical training. Number 2, you get to work on a real life project. Number 3, you get the mentorship. 4, you get the support. Number 5, you get interview preparation. Number 6, all our courses are CPD accredited, meaning they meet the professional standard, and the certificate is recognized in over 60 countries. And finally, we give you a work reference for the duration that you are with us. For CV revamp, because it's important as well, we at Learnwithpride, we don't handle that, but we have a partnership with another company that does that. They will do your CV, LinkedIn, and cover letter, and we have a deal of giving our students 70% discount. So meaning you can get all three for £60, or I think in Naira, maybe 60,000 Naira, something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What if your CV already? I mean, if you have background of business and analyst and
Yeah.
project management, and
Yeah.
you are now being trained as Scrum Master.
Yes.
How do you go about, changing
You don't need
from
to change much. Your CV can still tell a story. That's even the essence of a CV, to tell a story.
Okay.
Everybody has their own starting point. So there is just a way they have to reframe all those ones. So take, for example, IT project manager. You said you've done project management before, or project manager. So that one can go side by side with Scrum Master, like
Yeah.
IT project manager / Scrum Master. But there's a way around everything.
Okay.
And your previous experience in those areas, hasn't gone to waste either.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Nkechi. Aziz, you raise your hand again. You can unmute.
Well, thank you. Please, like regarding the reference letter, like someone that has been in the UK for over a year, going to 2 years. So I don't know, like how many years experience or reference letter can you get? I don't know if it has to be just like within the months.
So the work reference we are giving, supposed to be for the duration of the program or the length of which you are working with us, right? But again, this session is recorded. If you want to know more about that one, you can message that number and ask more questions regarding that as well. But yes, there's always a solution for every problem.
All right. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Nkechi, you raise your hand again. Sorry, Nkechi, can you raise that hand again? I mistakenly. Okay, don't worry, I'll look for you. You can unmute yourself, Nkechi, and ask your question.
Okay, sorry. Can I let me lower the hand? I'm not raising again.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I will be exiting now. I'll see you guys in the other side. I'm gonna join the this thing. Though, yeah. Let's talk in the other side.
No problem. Yeah, just message the number. That's fine.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. All right, let me just read the other questions. Come on, please, help student. I think that's all the question we have. Any final question from anyone? Again, it's starting on the 25th of May. We have 7 slots still remaining. The 48 hours is till Saturday. This time Saturday, you still have the opportunity to take the advantage of the 48 hours till this time on Saturday. But if not, no rush, you can still get 40% discount, and you can enroll on or before the 25th as well, provided we still have a slot for the cohort that will be starting. So we are ready for the journey. We are ready for you. We have everything ready. We have the structure, we have the knowledge, we have the know-how, we have experienced facilitators, we have experienced team to take you on the journey. The question is, are you ready for the journey? Are you ready for the journey? If you are ready, we are ready. But always remember that for those that always procrastinate, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next year. Tomorrow never comes, tomorrow never comes. If we, after tomorrow, there's always be another tomorrow. And there's a saying that says, procrastination is the assassination of all destination. So don't let that be your own portion as well. Take the bold step today and believe in the process. Believe you can rewrite the narratives as well. Aziz, you still want to ask a question? Unmute yourself, Aziz.
So sorry, my question is regarding the one of 48 hours. I don't know, like they have, but now presently I'm rich. So I don't know if one can just commit himself like paying like maybe like sum of £100, you know, like a sign of commitment.
Message that number, Aziz.
Okay.
Let's take it from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So from me to you, I want to say thank you for taking your time to join the session. I hope you've been able to gain one or two things from this session. And hopefully, maybe I'm going to be seeing some of you. We are going to be seeing some of you on the journey, but it will be an investment that you never regret, in your life. It will be the first step towards greater things to still come. Um, just believe in us and let's go on this journey together. So till we see you on the 25th of May. This recording will be available on our YouTube channel. So if you just go on YouTube and type Learn with Pride, it should be available by tomorrow. Or if you're on our WhatsApp group, it will be available on our WhatsApp group as well. So from me to you, I want to say thank you. Have a good night rest. Stay safe out there and all the best. See you on the 25th. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.